Excellence in the workplace is not a bonus, it's a requirement. We need to demonstrate to our peers and our bosses a level of excellence so extraordinary that they reason that only God could have achieved it through us, and that therefore glorifies God as God and God alone. Genesis 30:27. So Jacob was essentially an employee in Laban's business, which was Laban's fields. And Laban saw that the reason the work in his fields was inexplicably successful and being blessed to such a great degree was because of Jacob and the hand of God upon Jacob and everything he did in the field. So that shows how, as an employee, Jacob glorified God through a level of excellence God achieved through him, and that testified to Laban of the work of God in Jacob's life and the power of God. Moses and Aaron were essentially in a workplace, being Pharaoh's palace, and the work there was supernatural demonstrations of power, and there were established masters of that work, of that craft, being the Egyptian magicians like Janus and Jambres. And despite the gulf in experience and mastery, Moses and Aaron were empowered by God to achieve levels of excellence that those masters couldn't achieve in that workplace. Look at Exodus 8:18 to 19 and the plague of gnats. The Egyptian magicians admit that in all their mastery and all their experience, although Moses and Aaron could achieve the plague of gnats, they couldn't, simply because it was the finger of God doing those things. And God was for Moses and Aaron, but he was not for the Egyptian magicians. And that glorifies God by showing levels of excellence that the less experienced can achieve, but the more experienced can't achieve, the masters can't achieve, simply because God is on the side of those less experienced. And then you can go to 1 Kings 3 and Solomon. Solomon was in his workplace as a decision maker, like a manager or a CEO or a team leader, and he had to make just decisions as the king, as the judge. And God gave him the ability to make decisions that were just better than anyone who had ever lived. And the level of excellence he achieved in making those decisions was so high and so extraordinary and left the people in so much awe that they recognized it simply had to be God doing this through him. And that glorified God by showing levels of excellence that a person can only achieve through God. So,